Star Wars has had many ups and downs under Disney, and currently it seems that Lucasfilm is floundering. Not specifically with financial return, because of course we know that Star Wars has still been making money. However, critically, and how the audience has been receiving the series on the whole, has been going downhill. The Rise of Skywalker is a make or break for Lucasfilm under Disney, and it'll be make or break for many of the controlling heads of the franchise. In today's video, I will run through the recent rumours that there are in fact 3 cuts for The Rise of Skywalker, why this even occurred, going into the recent information that was revealed by Carrie Fisher's brother and how that pertains to these cuts, and ultimately what this means for the future of Star Wars, and posit my thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy's future and Kevin Feige's involvement. Before I get started though, I have to ask, if you do like today's video, then please do hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel for more in the future. You'll have to tell YouTube that you want to be notified of all content though by turning the bell notifications on. Also, quickly, returning subscribers, please do make sure you are subscribed. YouTube has strangely been systematically unsubscribing people from my channel, so please check that you are still subscribed to your favourite place for pop culture and movie news and movie reviews. A Tale of 3 Cuts. It sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? More like a nightmare if you're Disney and Lucasfilm. The reports surrounding multiple cuts of the film have been circulating for some time. A cut can be as simple as a few scenes changed here and there, so multiple edits isn't a great undertaking. It is, however, quite worrying when we are so close to the release of the film. Along with the rumours of multiple cuts, there were rumours of Lucasfilm going back and remaking 75% of the film. Now this rumour is likely to have come from the multiple edits that have been floating around. The likelihood is, through Chinese whispers, people conflated the two and came up with the assumption that they were remaking 75%. This rumour came out just before the final trailer's release, which in terms of production time would render it entirely impossible. So it is just that, a rumour, and one of pure fiction, at best laughable even. But the multiple edits rumour has been circulating for so long and has reared its head once more. The current rumour is that there are 3 edits. But why? Apparently, a few months ago, one edit of a nearly completed film, The Rise of Skywalker, was tested. Now, the test audience was comprised of roughly a 1/4 Star Wars fanatics, a 1/4 of Star Wars fans, and 2/4 of casual audience that knew of Star Wars but either didn't purchase merchandise or simply just knew of the franchise and enjoyed it. The point to this is that the group varied quite a lot. It displayed an average census of the movie-going audience, a good cross-reference to work from. There were also some studio and production staff, mainly to just view the product that they were working on. Now with the test audiences, they are asked to score or rate various acts. This group rated the first act of this edit highly, or semi-highly, a 65. Then the second and third, which descended into the gutter with a rating of 12 and then 4 respectively. Allegedly, the main issue is that Rey embraces the Mary Sue archetype and surpasses all those who have ever come before her and single-handedly diminishes their achievements in the process. How? Well, we've known for some time that the Emperor makes a return in this film, and thanks to various leaks which now have been corroborated with the final trailer's release, we know that Rey and Kylo face off against the Emperor as part of the final act. Rey is the one who finishes him, her grandfather, might I add, but she doesn't just finish him. Rey, in the style of a Mortal Kombat finishing blow, crushes the Emperor, stomps him, destroys him. Because of the nature of her character development, or should I say lack of, this act was so unbelievably ridiculous for the screeners to behold that they near universally burst into laughter. And yet, sadly, this is the issue and the current trend in media. Not simply Star Wars, but media. Give us a female character, provide little development, but thrust this woman to the top and tell us she must be liked. She is all-powerful. Why? Because. A fantastic film that bucked that trend recently was actually Ready or Not, with Samara Weaving, playing a great female lead who went through a lot of character development to become a badass, all in one film, and in a believable way. Mary Sue Ray, sadly, across 2 films so far, has received so little development, so tiny character development, and as such, these actions that we are seeing her perform are now simply laughable. And the problem here, though, is that this now caused a redo order, allegedly. Bob Iger was displeased by the score, and, if true, rightfully so. So Lucasfilm went about creating this new cut of the film under Bob Iger's instruction. But whilst this was happening, George Lucas was brought in to consult on another cut of the film. He pitches a new idea, fresh, something people will love. And this incorporates a lot of what Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams' cut of the film had in it, along with some new bits and pieces of what Bob Iger wanted to do. However, it does completely change the third act of the film, and unbelievably introduces a new Skywalker, a secret Skywalker. So here, we have 3 cuts of the film, all hodgepodge together. The initial cut, which was laughed out the screening, the Bob Iger cut, the George Lucas cut. All a complete shambles, having to handle and combat a disjointed mess of a narrative. Now this leaves us with why a lot of this has happened anyway. Carrie Fisher's brother recently spoke with Yahoo News, revealing that she was actually going to be the last Jedi, the namesake for the film and the payoff for the final film, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, obviously her death had a lot to play in this changing, sadly, but also Rian Johnson, the man failed to adjust for the real life events to reflect the events in the film, changing anything that was potentially planned for The Rise of Skywalker and thus screwing the trilogy out of any continuity that it had mapped out. And this is even outside of his attempted subversion of expectations with Rey's parentage and Snoke. So where does that leave the Star Wars franchise, Lucasfilm, and the film in general? Well, it's likely that someone will get fired, or quietly exit under a good PR spin. There really is only so many times that the audience can scream red pain and Disney does nothing. They have made a huge outlay on the Star Wars franchise. They will want a huge return, and as yet, with Galaxy's Edge failing and the film franchise falling apart, they do need to change that. Now, The Rise of Skywalker will make money, of course it will, but many changes will happen once it's released, and we've already started to see that happening now. Kevin Feige is being brought in to produce a Star Wars film, a man who already reports directly to Bob Iger. Now, it is incredibly likely that he will not be reporting to Kathleen Kennedy, and as a result, his work on this film, his film, will be seen as a tester. Who is the problem? What is the problem? Is it Kathleen Kennedy? And if she is, she will be fired. Now, with respect to the 3 cuts of the film, Disney could announce that the movie is being delayed until spring. However, this is incredibly unlikely. A company who prides itself on positive PR, they will receive severe backlash and spark many more rumours if they do so. So, it's my belief that they have decided on a final locked-in edit. The fact that we have received a final trailer is indicative of this. However, it of course remains to be seen. Now, as always though, please do leave your thoughts on all of this down below in the comments section. Now, if you enjoyed this deep dive on the current pop culture news, then please, I would ask you to consider supporting the channel further by becoming a Patreon and accessing many exclusive benefits. There are links to that and my social medias down below in the description box. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.